Have you ever made a decision without fully understanding the situation, only to realize it was a mistake? You're not alone. Today we'll explore how Ray Dalio uses a simple concept known as Chesterton's fence to help us avoid such traps. If you've ever made a mistake because you didn't think it through, feel free to share your story in the comments. Ray Dalio emphasizes the importance of understanding existing systems before making changes, a principle that aligns with what he calls second-order thinking. This involves not just considering the immediate effects of a decision, but also predicting its long-term consequences. It's like playing chess. You don't just think about your next move, you anticipate several moves ahead. That's the essence of second-order thinking. Chesterton's fence is a metaphorical principle that encourages us to understand the purpose behind existing systems or structures before making changes or reforms. Imagine you're walking through the countryside and come across a fence standing in the middle of a field. You might want to remove it because it seems unnecessary or is blocking your path. But before you take any action, Chesterton suggests you first consider why the fence was put there in the first place. The hidden message is that the fence might have a purpose. Perhaps it was erected to control livestock, mark property boundaries, or protect a fragile ecosystem. Removing the fence without understanding its purpose could lead to unforeseen consequences, like animals escaping or environmental damage. This story teaches us that changes should not be made without fully understanding the context. Ray Dalio views this principle as a crucial part of effective decision-making, advocating that one must understand the reasons and purposes behind existing systems before taking action. In his investment strategies, Ray Dalio deeply applies the concept of Chesterton's fence. Whenever he encounters a market rule or economic phenomenon that seems unnecessary, he doesn't disregard or try to change it immediately. Instead, he first strives to understand the underlying reasons. This cautious and thoughtful approach has helped him avoid many mistakes that could have led to significant losses. Similarly, history is full of examples where ignoring the principle of Chesterton's fence led to disastrous decisions. A typical example is the mid-20th century agricultural reforms in certain countries. These reforms seemed beneficial in the short term, but due to a lack of understanding of the existing agricultural systems, ultimately resulted in food shortages and economic turmoil. Chesterton's fence reminds us to approach changes with caution and curiosity. It encourages individuals and leaders to ask questions and seek to understand the historical context and reasoning behind existing practices before deciding to alter or eliminate them. This principle applies not just to physical structures, but also to rules, traditions, and systems in all aspects of life, including business, governance, and personal habits. Have you ever faced a similar situation where you were eager to make a change without understanding the reasons behind it? These changes might seem beneficial in the short term, but could lead to negative outcomes in the long run. To avoid this, we can take the following steps. 1. Pause and reflect. Before making any changes, take a moment to assess whether the change is truly necessary. Sometimes, reinforcing existing processes might be more effective than altering them. 2. Ask questions. Cultivate curiosity and avoid jumping to conclusions. Try to understand how the current system operates. It's like chess. Before making a move, consider the consequences. 3. Be strategic. Identify which areas genuinely require change and prioritize them. Understand the context and implications of these changes to make more strategic decisions. 4. Communicate clearly. When advocating for change, make sure your reasoning is clear and understandable. Explain the benefits and implications of the proposed changes to inspire and engage others. 5. Acknowledge resistance. Change often meets resistance. Be patient and strategic in handling it, showcasing the advantages of the new direction and celebrating small wins to build momentum. After all, change isn't just about moving your coffee machine. It could mean convincing your stubborn boss. 6. Consider long-term implications. Ask yourself the key question, and then what? This type of thinking helps you better understand the potential future impacts of your decision. When making decisions, do you also consider the long-term implications? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. By following these steps, you can ensure that your decision-making process is thoughtful, informed, and considers the purposes of existing systems. Remember, unless you know why something was established, don't be too quick to change it. Today, we learn the importance of the Chesterton's fence principle. Before making changes, understand the reasons behind existing systems. This principle applies not just to our daily lives, but to every decision we make in work and investments. Next time you encounter an unfamiliar system or situation, take a moment to ask yourself, why does this fence exist? That way, your decisions will be more sound. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Together, let's make wiser decisions and shape a more successful future.